101 TKO Radio. 101 TKO Radio. Hey, what's happening, man? Friday night. You understand me? It's the program. I am your host. Iyah Wise. Got this handsome fella sitting right here next to me.
G2K in the building. What's happening, everybody?
You understand me? Shit, what's going on, people? How y'all?
It's Friday, man.
Yeah, man. How y'all's week been? How your life? How you feeling? How your mental? You know what I'm saying? Everything. How you?
Man, I'm all right, bro.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there. You know, as best as a black man can do in this country right now.
I don't know, man. That's kind of you gotta watch them words.
Well, I mean, it is what it is.
Black man ain't got no business hanging in this country.
I say I'm trying to hang in there.
No,
this country, bro.
No.
You know, like shit, the powers that be doing everything they can to beat us down.
Yeah, man. I keep fighting.
Well, I ain't saying I'm giving up.
No, we
You know, it's Friday, taking a break. You know, how was your week, bro?
That part. It was. Excuse me. It was long. For lack of better words.
All right, get it together.
There we go.
Together.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when you breathing in this good air,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, it's been all right. I wonder. I'm just working, man. Working.
Trying to make a living.
Yeah. Was the holiday wasn't this week, was it?
No, it was last week.
Okay, yeah. So I worked the full week this week. I don't know that they run to each other.
Man, PTO is a wonderful thing if you got it.
Well, I thought you was about to say PTSD. I said, ooh, whoa.
Yeah, if you got that too, get some help.
You know, you feel me? Ain't that
Yeah,
wonderful?
it's Gemini season. I got PTSD from them Gemini. Speaking of that, yeah, they out here wilding them twins, man.
It is what it is. Let them twin it up.
Man, them twins out here, like you don't know who you dealing with at any given time. Like,
What you is? A Capricorn?
I'm a Capricorn.
What y'all is? A Scorpion?
Oh, bro, we the GOAT. We always climbing the hill, man. We reaching the top, like yeah. We the greatest of all. You know, Jesus was a Capricorn.
Man.
I mean, you know,
Not born no December.
for all them Christians out there, Jesus is a Capricorn. So y'all, when y'all see us Capricorns, y'all know what it is.
You don't even believe in Jesus. Why you got a Jesus piece?
Hey, I'm just saying, when you see a Capricorn, they godly, man. So you know, respect us when you see us.
Okay. Sister Capricorn too.
Yeah, man.
Man, so God and Goddess.
We on the same day. January 12th. We twins, for real.
Xena and Apollo.
Shout out to my wife.
Shout out to the sister gal.
Yeah, we twins, man. Born on the same day.
Yeah. You watched any of the finals?
To be honest with you, no. Just the highlights.
Me neither, man. I was trying to get home to watch it, but I spent like 30 minutes in a Burger King line. Pissed me off by the time I got home.
You must have been in the drive-through. Couldn't get out the line.
Couldn't get out. I wonder why they make it where you can't get out.
Just for that reason, they want to lock you in. Yeah.
Don't let me know it.
Yeah, but nah, I've been watching the highlights, and basketball just ain't been the same, man, ever since Kobe passed, man. Ever since Kobe retired, and but that he when he passed, that changed it for me. Like,
Took the passion out of it.
Yeah, it took the passion because like it, you know, I just felt like he could have came back and coached or done something, and you know, just inspiring. Yeah, you know,
man, you know, and that's what I be saying.
but you know, he was going around like giving speeches, and I saw a speech he gave to University of Alabama football team when Nick Saban was there, man. Like, you know, Kobe was doing some great things, man. Off of the court.
What they call it?
Philanthropic.
Philanthropic, yeah.
But he was just his wisdom, man. He was just ahead of his time, man. And that's how it be with those greats. Like, they leave us early, and we feel like we've been cheated. You know, Michael Jackson, Prince, Kobe Bryant, you know, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
You know, we was just talking about some Robin Harris, Burning Mac.
Baby.
You know, all those people, man, they were greats, and they left us early.
Oh, Bernie Mac.
They left us
Oh.
early. Yeah, could you imagine if he was still around? You know, with all this comedy and you know what I mean, and just what he was doing, how it took off his show, and yeah, he was a great one.
Rest in peace, Bernie Mac, man.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to all of them.
Um,
But you know who you rocking with the finals?
I don't know, man. I mean, I really don't care because ain't nothing to Texas, Georgia playing. So.
Right.
But I just like the competitiveness.
Wow.
It ain't like last year's finals sucked.
Well, you remember the conversation we had last week? We was talking about OKC and the Spurs, who it was gonna be, and I told you it's got to be the Spurs because the excitement that's around it right now, it was so boring last year.
But see,
Wasn't nobody even talking about the finals last year.
I will say this though, this season from what I watched in the highlights and the stat, OKC were really about the best team in the league.
They was in they bubble. They was in a bubble. I don't think they had been challenged the whole season. Like they ran to Boston the whole playoffs until they got to the Spurs.
The Spurs,
Yeah, they you know nobody beat them. You know,
I didn't.
but I believe that the league has an agenda. And
Of course.
Wembyamba, is that his name? Wembyamba, he's the future. He's the face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he's
why I
gonna be
think
the face.
I was gonna say that too. I would love to see him go ahead and win.
He's not gonna win it this year.
Yeah.
He's not gonna win it
And I
this
said
year.
what I was about to say. I think
He's not
New York
gonna win it
pull
this
off.
year. The Knicks gonna win it, even if they got to cheat like Trump. They gonna, you know, they doing. From what I understand, the cheapest seats is $7,200 in the nosebleeds in the Garden for the game. It's crazy.
Big
You
money.
gonna have Trump. You gonna have Trump go to the game. You gonna have, you know, all the celebrities. The Knicks.
Courtside.
Yeah, it's gonna be a shit show. It's gonna be. That's what the New Yorkers are saying. But I think they're gonna win it. You know, I agree with DJ MV. The Knicks in 6.
Yeah. What's the name? Them don't win this game tonight. It might be Knicks in 5.
It might be the Knicks in 4 if they don't win tonight. Yeah, it could.
It's possible.
They could be at
But
home.
They ran through stuff now.
They gonna if they win tonight and they go back home, like it's gonna be crazy. The atmosphere is gonna be overwhelming.
They ran through some things. They did do that. I give them that.
The Knicks have they have the hunger. I think San Antonio is going to this year is going to be where the Knicks was last year, because you know the Knicks got right to the door and they ran out of gas, and so this year I think they're going to kick the door in.
Got a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, they're going to kick the door in. They worked out everything and they playing good basketball at the right time.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's what I'll be telling people.
They
You
playing-
can have the best players on one team, but if they
if
ain't
they're not playing basketball.
it ain't gonna work.
Yeah, team basketball. They playing team basketball. Like, and this what I just found out the other day because I don't really keep up with the Knicks, but 3 of them boys went to college together. Hart, yeah, they went to Villanova. I want to say
So they already know how to play together.
they've been playing since college. Yeah, but they just bought Hart. They just traded for Hart last year or something like that after the season. And but yeah, the three of the main pieces they played college together. Then you got Anthony Towns. You got some pieces up there in New York. But it's their time. The Knicks gonna win it. We ain't gonna hear enough from them fools from New York. Like they gonna talk forever about the Knicks winning this
Boy, I'm
championship.
talking about
Like,
Tony Yayo,
I ain't even.
Fat Joe.
It's not even the celebrities. It's just the New Yorkers. Period.
I be watching them guys podcasts and stuff. Man. They be so New York sometimes. It's disgusting.
Man. So just imagine the ones that's doing it that's not on camera. Like it's disgusting. It's like vomit in your mouth disgusting. Like like they do the most, but you know, I don't want to do it premature. I tip my hats to the New York Knicks, but I believe they're gonna win it. I believe they're gonna win it. Yeah. And they're gonna drive everybody crazy. all the New Yorkers, even if they wasn't Knicks fans, especially down here, you know, they gonna be like, "Oh, I was a Knick. I was born in Queens." Boy, you from Rockaway? You ain't even from Queens.
Yeah, that's still Queen.
I don't want to hear it.
My partner, Rod Cobain, God rest his soul. He supreme Knicks fan. I know he up there smiling and looking at his boys. Like,
I know quite a few cats from New York, and
he had a New York swag, though. You would think he was
he's from New York. Yeah, I know quite a few cats from New York, and they cutting up right now on the internet, man. So tip off my hats to them. It's a good season.
I'm ready to see some football.
What you talking about?
It's too early.
Oh, speaking of, we might need to talk about that coming back. The trade that happened this week.
Myles Garrett.
Man.
Hey man, I'm so sick of him. Cause you remember he told me I'm a living Brown.
But
them folk gave you that bag. He like, okay, Elroy, I got my check and I was gone.
But backstory on this: the Rams been working on this deal for 3 years.
I bet.
So that's why the Cleveland Browns signed him to that mega deal. It didn't make sense. He wanted out of there. But it didn't make sense, cause like you said, he ain't playing there, another down and blase. Then the next thing you know, he signed this major deal, the biggest contract ever for I think it was anybody in a nine quarterback position. And so but the backstory is the Rams have been trying for the past 3 years to get Garrett, and. So, you know, Aaron Donald might come back. They talking about it. I don't know how they going to pay, but because he retired, how they going to work that out? I guess he come back for the league minimum or something. You know?
Unless he just want the ring and take the league minimum.
But, yeah, why would you come back and risk injury for a ring? He was in the league 10 years. He was a Pro Bowl for 10 years. He was All-Pro for 8. And he got a ring. Like he said, you know, at 35 and you got all your faculties, like, it's no reason to come back just to have 2. You're never gonna catch time.
Nah,
you know what I mean? Like it's nothing to gain. You know.
I see Sierra Wilson husband retired.
Yeah.
Get on out the way.
He wasn't in the way. He wasn't in the way. I mean, I wish he's still open to come back, and I think they're gonna use him. Look at Kirk Cousins and Flacco and all them boys that was retired. What about the other white boy? Can I say that? I'm sorry. The one that played with the Chargers last year, Rivers. Yeah.
That boy graduated with me. I told him I playing football.
Look, he retired and everything. He got about 11 kids.
No, I'm about to say he got a feed.
Yeah, but he got a bag. Like, you know, the white boys they know how to handle their money. It's only us that go broke.
The reason why I say he get out the way, bring your kids up. Your kids deserve some of that time too.
Who's that? Russell?
Russell, yeah.
Russell's a great father, man.
I know he is, but still.
Russell a role
He
model.
go to all the practice.
I wish I could be like Russell.
Yeah, that's what they like now. Back then, when we were coming up, well, you were older
But
me,
you
they
know,
ain't want
Russ-
no women, they ain't want no Russell.
Russell, you speaking to Russell, you need to be speaking the future. Because Russ take little Future, he took him to Texas, to college, and walked him around. Do you know what that's like, walking around with Russell Wilson on the campus? You know?
I try to stay out of that because we don't really know. You know what I mean?
We know it,
We know what we see.
and we see it all.
No, we don't see all.
Well, we see it all.
We see a 30-second clip, and we get the whole story out of that.
You could see
They're reading the book by the
you
cover.
could see the love that little boy has for him when he looks at Russell. You can see it.
Just because you don't see the
for
moments when
camera.
Russell get on his little ass and he
I'm
mad
not
at
saying
it.
that's not
You know what
saying
I'm
that he
Like,
don't do that.
How you know?
I'm not saying that he doesn't do that. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying that he doesn't do that, but what I'm saying to you is he gets the love and attention that his father doesn't give him,
See, I call that.
and he's been doing it since they got together.
I call that the Cliff Huxtable syndrome.
Why you say that?
Because we let what we see on the camera define who the person is. We wouldn't have never thought Bill Cosby was doing them white girl that until we seen the paperwork and find he was doing it for real. He just wasn't supposed to be prosecuted because he made a deal.
So what was Bill Cosby doing?
Man, the man said first of all, he was purchasing illegal Quaaludes. He said he got the Quaaludes from a gynecologist at a poker game. And he was throwing them in the, you know what I mean? Throwing them in the drink. She ain't even know it.
But a lot of them knew it because that was the drug of choice. They was doing pills and they was snorting cocaine.
They said they ain't know.
And smoking reefer.
But see the thing, that's why you gotta be careful.
But think about this
what
though.
They say.
But if they say they didn't know, if they didn't know back then, how you know 50 years later? How all of a sudden you can remember everything clear 50 years later?
Boy, you got a point. Now.
Make it make sense.
Woo.
Now you got all these people coming out the woodworks. Make it make sense.
Back then, that was a drug of choice.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what they did back then.
And then I'm looking at the woman.
Studio 51, they in there snorting cocaine, popping Quaaludes, and smoking
I'm looking
reefer.
at the woman that accused. I'm like, ain't no way in the hell. This man was kissing Claire Huxtable. Ain't no way he did that to this white woman, this kangaroo looking
Man,
woman.
but you got to realize this is back then. They was probably in their late teens, early 20s. They was fine. You know what I mean? And they messing with people. Boy, you remember that old Jello pudding pop? Oh man, he was the pudding pop man. Come on.
What I'm saying is, man, he had probably had his pick of any of the beautiful black women in the world. This man wasn't messing with this crocodile.
But the black women didn't say nothing. It was the white women because they was trying to get the
money.
man.
Yeah,
They was trying to get the man. Think about it. Cliff was hitting them all, bro. I believe he was hitting them all, but the black women, like that's what we did back then.
Don't do
We got
Dr.
high.
Huxtable like that. Call that nigga Bill. His name is Bill.
Man, that's Dr. Huxtable.
No, Dr. Huxtable is a different person. Dr.
Man,
Huxtable
look.
never. I seen Dr. Huxtable deliver a hoagie in the delivery room.
Hey.
Oh man, hey man, we gonna take a small pause for the calls, y'all. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. I promise.
Yeah.
Yo, 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 yo. We back off in this. You already know what it is. If you don't know, I'm going to tell you what it is. It's the program 101 TKO Radio. There we go. What we was on?
We was talking about the trade with the Browns and
Oh, yeah. Oh, Miles Garrett.
Myles Garrett, and what you think about that? Like it's gonna flip the league. I think that
Yeah, NFC West messed up right now.
yeah, the Rams they gonna shake some trees this year.
Yeah, I mean, we hope.
They got that Puka, the wide receiver Puka.
Yeah. Man, they
He
got
bad.
Hey,
That dude, they're tough, man.
I get him on fantasy football every chance. Puka Nakula.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
There you go.
That motherfucker Hawaii.
So you think what they trying to dispel? Well, I ain't gonna say they trying to dispel. What they trying to say is the Cleveland Browns are tanking, so they could go get Archie Manning, and I'm like,
They gonna tank some more.
to get another quarterback like all the quarterbacks you just
They been
paid to Sean Watson $250 million guaranteed, fully guaranteed. You got now you ain't got Baker Mayfield. You got Shador Sanders and Dylan Gabriel.
No, I was just talking about the quarterback they done paid over. They ain't really.
Well, I'm talking about who's on their roster now.
Okay, yeah.
You got these throw, and you gonna tank to go get Archie Manning? I don't think so.
They need to let the man go somewhere we gonna play for real.
He playing.
They
He's
playing
gonna
with
play.
him.
Shador got the highest grossing. He got the highest grossing deal where he made $17.7 million off his jersey sales. He put
Don't care about that.
yeah they do.
No, they don't.
They want to put butts in the seats, bro.
Yeah.
You think he's gonna take it on Deshaun Watson?
I think so. I think they're gonna move Deshaun Watson. They gonna move him. They gonna move on. They gonna move on from him. Like nobody don't want to see him. You got Shador in the 17.7. This is what he made 17.7 million out of the deal.
They probably start Watson first couple games.
They
But
probably
they
start.
gonna get one
Maybe
chance.
they gonna want to showcase him that he healthy, and then they gonna shut him down so they can use him as a bargaining chip.
About that third interception. Come on the pitch.
They're gonna use him as a bargaining chip to get rid of him, man. But from what I'm understanding is that the coach, the new offensive coordinator, and Shador, yeah, and he Todd Munchkin, I want to say Munchkin, something like that. Munchkin, they building a good rapport, so I think the Browns gonna give him a shot. They need to give him a shot. It was no sense to draft him and not give him the shot. The players respond to him. They want to play with him. So, there you go with that.
Is Kyler Murray still with Arizona?
No, he's in Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we should.
Everybody got switched up. Your boy that was down there in the Dolphins is now with the Falcons.
Don't mention it.
Yeah, I think he should quit.
We all got it. Y'all ain't got no quarterback yet.
Yeah, we still got our quarterback that we drafted. I don't even know his name. I don't even know the coach's name. A disgruntled one. Very disgruntled. Like I don't know what we doing as an organization. Like why are we're picking the leadership that we are. I don't see it. I don't see that leadership coming from behind Sean Payton. They haven't had a strong leader since then.
Actually, kind of backpedal. We were talking about future indirectly earlier.
Right.
You see the statement he made? I think it was on LeBron podcast. He was talking to LeBron and KD, and he said that
Jay-Z wasn't relevant when Biggie and Tupac was alive.
What you think?
He correct.
Absolutely. That's what I'm telling folks. Like he ain't saying right.
He didn't say nothing wrong.
And he
Jay
went
Z
on
got to admit that. Like he
Jay-Z
wasn't.
will tell you that.
Yeah, like Jay Z didn't even have an album out. He didn't drop Reasonable Doubt. He didn't drop the first. He was up and coming
He started
because
bubbling in '95 with Ain't No Nigga. And if you listen to Nas'
with no
song,
with what? With,
the song Fox, like, ain't no nigga like the one I got. It hit that
but he was
soundtrack.
bubbling before that because Tupac mentioned him.
That was in '96 though.
Was it? Okay. Yeah, he mentioned that was my first time hearing him because he was backed up to he was a backup to Big Daddy Kane. He was a roadie for Big Daddy Kane.
But that Ain't No Nigga was on one of them soundtracks. I can't remember which one.
I keep it fresher than the next chick. No need. Yeah, that was that jam. Yeah, for sure.
That kind of catapulted him. But he first surfaced on Hawaiian Sophie with Jazzo in 1989.
Right. That's where Tupac was like fake ass JC from Hawaii Sophie fame. Yeah.
And I be telling folks like, there wasn't no diss, it wasn't no slight. It's just like, okay, put it like this.
It's competitive.
Nah, Jay-Z and LL Cool J, they same age. LL been out since '85. Jay came out in '96, so that probably would have put Jay at like 27, 28 when he first came and hit the scene.
He was old.
See what I'm saying? So that's why people were saying like
He been old.
he was really supposed to drop during that Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep, Nas, Tupac, Biggie era.
It wasn't his time though.
Same thing. That's what I said. Because
It wasn't his
could have
time.
been in that era.
It wasn't his time, and it wasn't none of it. It wasn't DMX time. When they hit, it was time for them to hit.
Now the question is, if Biggie and Pop still alive, you think Jay would, I guess, somewhat been noticeable? Because I know he probably wouldn't be like big as he is now. I don't think.
I think he would have been noticeable because I think he would have been like you had Snoop and you had Tupac. Snoop had it until Pac emerged. I think Big still would have been the emergence, but Jay would have kind of been like a Snoop. You know what I'm saying? Like he would have had his own shine. It may not have been as big as what it, like you said, what it got to be.
That's a tough one with me, because if Pac and Biggie, if both of them wouldn't have died, the rap game would have been totally different.
Yeah, a lot of folks
It wouldn't have been. I don't think it would have been a Jay-Z. They wouldn't have signed a like the style of
But
rap.
he got off of that though. That's why I was telling cats he didn't sign
But in
during
the
that
beginning,
era.
because he wasn't.
Yeah, he had to reinvent himself.
He had to reinvent. But I don't think that he would have. Unless he came in through Big.
That's what was gonna happen.
But he only got headway when Big died. So had Big not died, Big would have been the king of New York.
I don't think we would have this so-called mumble rap or whatever now if they two still would have been alive.
I think it would have came about.
I think it would have came about.
It wouldn't have been prevalent.
It would have came, because they would have had a run. Like they wouldn't have took over the airwaves forever. They wouldn't have. They wouldn't have had rap careers like Drake and, even though Pac had so many albums after he passed, but you could tell it was just, it was just files that they had. And they just put it, some of them wasn't even mixed, mastered. Yeah, like they Master P, and they was just doing a lot with his music just to make it, something. But I honestly believe that if they would have had 10 more years, the rap game would have been different. The rap game would have been different. But the youth was coming in, the internet was coming. You know what I'm saying? And well.
That's why we never fell out, because we always came with something.
But we're talking about the mumble rap era. I think we still would have had the Outkast, and we would have had that.
I'm talking about like the Crunk, all that came after Pop.
We still would have had that. We still would have had that. That was a different type of music. That was a different type of music compared to what Pac and Biggie was. Pac was on that West Coast game. You know what I'm saying? That rough aggressive style. Biggie was on the, the cool fly big dude. You know,
Pac only really gave us 2 albums.
what?
On the gangster shit.
Nah, he gave us a whole bunch of albums of that. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. You got to remember, like he got banned from Texas with that first album, Tupacalypse. But just what he, but he got banned from Texas. So, like, but once he went to the West Coast, and you know what I'm saying. But Pac was all over. Pac had so many groups that he was a part of.
Gangbang.
You know,
Pac was All Eyes on Me.
That really, he wasn't no gang banger.
But I'm talking about the gangbang in the music.
But what I'm saying was all of, yeah, but he was working with different groups. He had the Outlaws. He had the who the mother boys he was with, Thug Life. You know what I'm saying? It was like he was just rocking with different crews. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to him having a crew himself. Like he'll go drop an album with this crew. Then he'll go drop an album with this crew because the Outlaw boys was from the East Coast, Jersey. Yeah, so like he was, but that's how he was moving around.
A lot of them songs they ain't had no business on either.
Why?
That's just how he was.
What you mean?
Some of that shit sucked.
Boy, them boys was hard.
Yeah, they was. The shit still sucked.
Them boys was hard. I just don't think that you understood the Yeah, but you was way down there in the country. Like by the time it got down there, y'all got it late. Like,
nigga, please. A release date is a release date. If you got a record store where you live at, I don't care when the album come out. What is you talking about?
I didn't even have a record store.
Shut up. This nigga from Monroe, Louisiana, y'all. And sitting
Didn't
here
even
talking
have
about
a record store.
boy. Man, cut it out.
They didn't have a grocery store.
Stop it.
They just
Anyway,
had a little farmer's market with outdoor shit on ice.
soon as it rained down there, y'all, they gotta go upstairs.
Float away.
Anyway, I believe Big was gonna usher Jay in either way because they had the commission. The commission was Jay, Big, Mace, Cameron, Charlie Baltimore. He talked about it on Life After Death.
But he wouldn't have been. Jay-Z didn't want to play the back. He wanted to be in the front. The best thing that happened for him was Biggie dying.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but
The
he
best
wasn't gonna
thing.
play the back. That's just like
He wasn't
Kanye
going.
could never play the back because
He wasn't going to come in and take over the game. Like had Big still been alive, Jay wouldn't have had as much, space to move. Because other than that, you just had Diddy with the little flashy dancing stuff. They didn't have no artists out of New York. They didn't have no artists out of New York.
DJ Clark Kent, he made the Brooklyn's finest beat. That was on. See, you gotta think. Jay was on Life After Death, and Biggie was on Reasonable Doubt. And Clark
Right.
Kent said when Biggie stopped writing when he seen Jay-Z go in that booth and run it. He said until then Biggie would write. Jay was the first
But that
person.
don't mean that he was gonna take over. Big was polarizing, bro. Big was polarizing. Like to see him in person, like his presence, it was very polarizing. And just looking at the music, the volume of the music, like nobody even wanted to sign Jay-Z.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was a lull because Biggie got killed. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like Biggie ran out of gas or his music, you know what I'm saying? Somebody came and took over. He got killed, so it was a vacuum. And Jay-Z
really
filled that vacuum. That's why I say that was the best thing that happened to his career.
Jay
Because
didn't feel that vacuum at that time. I'll tell you who filled it.
Ooh.
DMX
Nah,
was the
there
only
was a
person
different-
at that time to drop 2
DMX
albums in
wasn't
1
the
year,
king of
both
New
of
York.
them go
He
platinum.
wasn't the king of New York.
Man,
He was the
DMX
dog.
had it.
DMX was the
Listen,
dog. You got to realize
listen,
DMX was on drugs.
Listen. That what
DMX
made him a star.
Nah, but he
Marvin Gaye
would
was
go
on drugs.
No, but listen,
James Brown was on drugs.
this
Ray
dude
Charles was on drugs.
this dude would go get lost for like a week. He'll go buy a
What's that
kid.
name? Kodak on drugs.
Man, you talking about now? We talking about back then.
What make you think it was different? The biggest Whitney Houston. The biggest star was on dope, bro.
wasn't the biggest star.
Who?
DMX wasn't the biggest
Yes,
star.
he was. DMX was always big. Why you think Jay-Z wouldn't close no show on no tour with DMX? You can't.
He said he can't come behind.
You can't.
But-
Why?
but-
Clear dog.
But DMX was just the talent.
Man, listen.
Jay was an
Jay-Z
executive,
was
bro.
never the superstar. That's what
He
I'm telling
was an
you.
executive.
And,
You gotta realize.
there's a difference between
you gotta,
an
you gotta
executive
realize.
and a superstar.
You
We
gotta
talking about
realize-
the music star. We're not talking about the businessman. We're talking about the music, the artist.
It's a business,
DMX,
man.
we're not talking about the business. I get that. That's why you got Leroy Cohen. He's a businessman.
But
You got DMX,
Jay
he's an artist.
bypassed Leo Cohen.
Because he wanted to be a businessman. But what I'm telling you
because,
is,
like you said, he's older. He was
Listen.
older. He was on the executive. He just knew how to put a. He just like
and
Rick
at that
Ross.
time he really didn't.
Look,
he was just the artist.
He
got that
packaged.
game
He
from
packaged. He packaged the product. He stole Jazzo style, and he put something together. He had a vision.
And
It's
he
just
couldn't-
like Rick
he couldn't
Ross.
sell that until he
It's like
teamed
Rick
with Dame.
Ross. Like, do you think Rick Ross is like the best artist, music artist that they got? Like,
No,
I
he
give.
one of.
He's a better businessman to me than he is an artist.
And I'm finna help you make my point because you making my
Go ahead.
point. But go ahead.
I'm just saying that DMX was a star. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but on the business level,
We wasn't never talking about business. Big wasn't no businessman. We
But
talking
you
about
saying
filling
that
the vacuum of the artist.
it
remember?
wasn't DMX.
Who was
Yeah,
it
you,
then?
you know DMX was
That's
hot.
what I'm trying to
But
tell
you know
you.
it was more than DMX though. It was the whole Rough Riders Creek.
I was gonna
the
say
whole
that.
Murder Inc.
There you go.
Murder Inc. But when
But
Jay
listen,
came,
Jay was there the
when
whole
Jay
time.
came, but he was sitting back.
No, he was
As
sitting
far
back.
as the businessman, he's looking at the big picture. He
sitting back.
created an image that I'm the big homie, and all these other, DMX was the dog. What was Ja Rule?
I'm gonna tell you what happened.
He was the little homie. Because
Cause
remember, he did the album with Jay-Z. He did the song with Jay-Z. They was working together. But Jay-Z was he was the big meech of the game at that time. He was talking about the cocaine, and he took over where Big filled the vat, for Big. Because that's what Big was on, the King of New York.
Kinda.
The movie, you know what
Yeah,
I'm
I know
saying?
Frank White.
Yeah,
Yeah, Frank
yeah. That,
See, but what I'm saying is when Jay, like right after Big, that Jay did fill that lane, but it didn't catch. And what I'm saying is, hope you just talk. What I'm saying is, think about Jay-Z was. What I'm saying, okay, boom.
when did Big get killed? 93?
97.
97?
Okay, like you said, after Big, 97, boom, 98, you got DMX, two of the biggest albums that year.
Right.
Jay had platinum albums though.
Mm-hmm.
Jay was always there, but he wasn't the man that
Yeah,
that
yeah.
year.
No.
Okay, alright, so that's what I'm saying.
No. Yeah.
He didn't really start doing
D,
that until
D
he
was
brought
doing
Kanye
his.
West in this month.
D had Def Jam. He had the back, and he
He
DMX.
was at both
He was the one. He was the one in front. I think Ja Rule, all of them was over there at Def Jam. All of them was over there at Def Jam. He was the president.
He was the A&R for Rockefeller for Jay-Z
Yeah.
before he got Murder Inc.
But Jay being older and wiser, he put together an image that set him apart. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where he was like stiff on, like, I'm up here, I'm the big homie.
Yeah, so
You
that's
know
why
what I
he
mean?
was like, I
Yeah.
can't get y'all fame because this is what I'm on.
But he
He's
was
smart. That was
he
the
would,
smarts.
and that's what I was saying. Like, but he was older, so he was more like he blocked out DMX from on the deal with Def Jam because he wanted the spotlight.
See what I'm
So
saying?
he
I
utilized
don't
what
respect stuff like that.
what
I mean, I get his business, but
X was on drugs, real
don't
bad,
matter.
and
That
he
don't
was the
mean
president of Def Jam.
that don't mean nothing.
That's business, man.
I get it.
He's a businessman.
I'm business with everybody. I cut you. You snake me, I'm gonna cut you because I'm not finna snake you. See what I'm saying? You ain't gotta do all. We got
What's the saying? Being what is it? Being a good person don't get you ahead when you watching the bad person. What is it saying? I heard it just a couple of days ago, but
be a good person, stay to yourself, and do good business. Ain't nothing wrong with good business.
but you gonna watch all the dirty slime and they gonna get to it.
And you see where they get them to, don't you?
Hey man,
You see what I'm saying?
it all depends on who you are. It all depends on who you are, and what you are. There you
Yeah,
go.
white, they gonna end right.
And but you got to be a certain kind of white. You got to be that. You got to be that bright white.
Yeah, you can't be that dirt road.
Yeah, you can't be that what is it the dull white. You can't be that dull white. You got to be that bright white.
But Jay really didn't get his emergence as the star artist until he brought Kanye and Just Blaze in. Blueprint, the first Blueprint. The H to the is on.
He at some point he flipped the image. I think it was Rockaware. That's what helped bring up the image that he's a baller. When they did that, what, 80 million in 1 year of the clothing, you know, and he started monetizing his celebrity. He was like one of the first ones to say, why am I gonna wear these clothes and advertise y'all stuff and I don't get nothing? You know, and that's what he said. I started, you know, charging the people in the magazines for me to do an article, and he was one of the first ones because a lot of artists was just happy to be in the magazine. They selling all these magazines because your face on the cover and you don't get nothing out of it. He was one of the first ones to take the big business approach, and he gave a lot of game to him. You know,
What really took him out of here was marrying that girl. That's the best thing he could have did. Marry Beyonce. He probably would have fizzled if it wasn't for her.
why you say that?
Because like it's rap, bro. Nobody stays like the man off of rap alone forever.
But you don't think that was something in the executive branch that they put together?
I think it's arranged wedding for sure.
I think it is.
It's like
she
it's
was a little girl.
It's
You
aristocracy.
know, he lied about his age and she lied about her age.
That's just like how
She a lot younger than what she claimed. He a lot older, you know, than what he claimed. And that's why I say R. Kelly, like, man, free that man. Free that man,
At
bro.
least Jay married her. You know what I'm saying? Jay
Free
did it
that-
like you
free
remember
that
back in the
man.
photo they say, color purple. I come to marry your daughter. She ain't with 12, but at least I ain't gonna say at least because it ain't right.
But I think that
he did it in a respectful way.
It was the power couple image.
There you go.
It was the image. Like he had a plan the whole time. It was
might not
to
even
be
be
the
a
big
plan.
homie. No, it was. I think that it was a plan that they put together. Some executives put together because you know they all selling us a dream. They selling you something. Like half of these artists ain't who they say they are. You know, but when you put them in front of cameras and put them on TV and with the flashy stuff, you believe. You know, for the longest, folks believed that Rick Ross was a drug dealer.
That's why I say.
And he was a CO.
That's why I say.
But he's a great businessman.
I can't say that either though, because you got there's a lot of guys that push grocery carts, but they sell crack. So he might have did his thing. I don't think he was no kingpin. I ain't gonna say he didn't hustle.
Bruh worked for the Booby Gang. He was a worker.
All right,
And
then.
they put him, and
if
he
they pull him up on the block or he got caught at that prison with some, guess what he gonna be? A prisoner.
a prisoner.
'Cause
That's
he
what
was
I'm
selling
saying.
dope.
That's what I'm.
Hell, I ain't gonna
So
say
he was really a CO. Like he was really a CO. He wasn't on the block moving keys. He wasn't, you know, but he
see,
was
the
an
thing,
artist.
what
He went
messed
to
him up
Albany.
is-
He went to Albany
What
for
messed him up
college.
is he shouldn't have never said that wasn't me.
What?
When you remember when it first came out, he swore down that wasn't him. You're like, bro, that is you on this picture.
But everybody got it. That wasn't Ricky Rose. That was whatever his real name is.
Ain't
What
no
is his real
difference.
name? Yeah, it is.
No, it ain't.
It
I'm
is.
sick of y'all with that.
Yeah, like
That ain't no difference.
Mike Epps and Day Day is two different people.
Man, if Day get found in the ditch, that DNA coming back to Michael Epps. I don't want to hear that. Ain't no different. Hey, we're going to be back in a minute, y'all, because they talking crazy. Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. I sound like I'm at a Dougie Fresh party. You understand me? Hey, it's the program, man. We back in this thing. I am your host, Iyah Wise.
And I'm G2K.
In the place to be.
Yeah.
I gotta stop acting so old, man. Well, South Carolina, right?
I want to say that's where the China man was found not guilty for shooting a 14-year-old in the back. Yeah, it just happened this week. From what I gather, he was supposedly stealing something, but he ended up putting it back and running away, and the man chased him down and shot him anyway.
Supposed to have been a bottle of water or something.
But he put it back.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really know all the facts. I heard one story that say he had them pointed a gun at the man's son or something. But anywhere.
From what I saw, the man's son contradicted the father, but they still found him not guilty.
Yeah, they gonna do that.
But that wasn't his first shoot neither. He done shot somebody else.
Now, was he like robbing the?
He was supposedly trying to steal something, but he got caught, so he put the stuff back and was running away. And the owner chased him. I think he was outside the store.
That's just like if somebody break in your house and they leave the house.
You can't. Yeah, you're not supposed to.
They ain't posing no threat.
Yeah.
But
You can't even go outside and shoot them if they're breaking in your car. Yeah.
it's like I mean, it's just a miracle doing what a miracle does. I think people were crazier for expecting different. Why keep expecting the same shit and we ain't doing nothing different? We ain't doing nothing different.
Humanity, bro.
Huh?
Humanity, compassion.
Don't nobody care about no humanity or compassion but black folks.
You asked me a question. I'm just
But
giving.
I get it, but
It's not just black folks. It's other people that care about humanity. There are some good white people out here that wouldn't have shot him. They would actually shot it. They would actually gave him the water, let him buy it for him. But I've seen police officers that have gone to stores on a shoplifting call, and they ended up paying for the stuff that the people was trying to steal because it was something that they really, really needed.
you referring to individual people. I'm talking about that man was acquitted by a system, the system of America. And this is what the system does to us. This is what the system has always done to us.
But it's a two-tier system, bro.
What you mean two-tier?
Like, it's certain folks get in trouble for doing stuff, and then you can look at it with the government now. You can see how the corruption that's going on. If that was me and you doing half of the stuff that these folks doing, they would have been locked us up, man.
That's what I'm saying. So why do we keep expecting not to get dogged?
So what I'm saying, it's only a certain amount of people. It's only a certain amount of people that's in that echelon that can get away with that stuff. The billionaires, the rich.
No. They wouldn't have did no white boy like that. And if they did, the answer would be convicted.
Well, of course they gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. You can look at the white boy that shot the black people in the church in South Carolina.
Man, they
Took him to Burger King, and then Trayvon Martin shoot him in the back.
You're right.
So many of us.
Down there in Brunswick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but what I keep asking is, when it happens and nothing happens, why we still get sad and get that like we know nothing is going to happen?
So what is the solution? What do you recommend? What do you do?
My solution is not the best.
Well,
and it probably is not wise.
I want to know what you
But I
think you're gonna fight
guarantee
fire
it'll be
with
a fight.
fire.
Why not?
Okay.
Never had ain't nobody, even Malcolm X said it, ain't nobody got no freedom from nowhere begging for it. They took it.
Okay. And so when they shoot you down in the street, at least you you die for what you want.
For a damn cause.
Makes sense.
Because, I mean, if I go to the quick trip right now pumping gas and I get shot in my head, I die for nothing. And 9 times out of 10, it'd be somebody that look like us that did.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to figure out your logic on how you gonna handle your situation that you in and
I'm
what you
trying to
say.
figure out the logic of crying and complaining about it when you know it's going to happen.
It's not crying and complaining. It's about bringing awareness. You know, the squeaky wheel is the one that gets repaired.
That wheel been squeaking for 100 years now. They ain't fixed it yet.
So what you saying? Don't say nothing.
Do something.
Do what?
Do it.
I'm saying what? What is your you
I
want?
just told you what to do. When they take one, we take one.
Yeah. Okay. All
Let's
right.
go.
That don't. That's. So how are you gonna get that one? You just gonna go find an innocent person or?
You remember my boy, he ain't my phone, no. Cops killed his son. The
And
first one they seen, he ran his ass up,
Yeah.
eye for an eye. Salute my brother.
Right.
Free that man. Period.
And
That's
that's
what they'll do you.
so we're just gonna continue that back
Yes,
and forth.
absolutely.
That's not feasible, man.
Well,
That's
it ain't feasible to keep getting
that's not-
dogged and not doing nothing.
That's not smart. That's not. What we need to do is we need to own our neighborhoods that we live in.
That's fighting back.
No.
Because you won't be able to come over here and do this because we're going to spank you.
But if we own our neighborhoods, then the Chinaman won't have a gas station in our neighborhood to be able to shoot the little boy in the back because we own it. We know we're not gonna shoot him in the back.
I'm glad you said that. Remember, we had a conversation, long conversation one night about people complaining about gentrification when they go make mega millions of dollars and they go run across town. The same money that them folk gentrified your hood with, you got that money. That's why I be saying salute Rollo. Rollo building up what he can over there where he at. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But everybody don't have a record label to give you some money up front for you to go and invest in. You gotta
Rollo ain't
have
got record
capital.
label money.
You gotta have
Rollo got his
capital.
own money. Well, you missed what I said.
Rado got a record deal for
Man,
$2 million.
Rollo got money out these streets. Rollo ain't put out a record in 15 years.
Rollo got a record deal.
Rollo hadn't put out no money, no music in 15 years.
So let me ask you a question then. So if Rollo got all that kind of money, you say, why is he telling his girlfriend to go get ounces when he in jail on the phone? He ain't got that kind of money. He don't have that selling ounces. He ain't got that kind of money he got, man. Rollo will tell you
Putting that on the we ain't talking about all that when he's
that's
selling.
what he doing. That's what I'm just telling you what happened when how he got caught up
Man,
when he
Rollo
was in
got
DeKalb County.
That man got caught on the plane with
When he was in DeKalb, you're not listening. You talk too much, you don't listen, bro. When he was in DeKalb County, he got caught on the phone call having his baby mama. He was telling her it was puppies. Go get these puppies, take them over here, and the folks was listening. Yeah,
what
like,
that mean?
I'm trying to tell you, Rollo ain't got that kind of money from the streets. He lost all the money when he got jammed up. Oh, okay.
Even if he did get the money from the record label, he ain't putting out no record.
Rollo got 2 houses. He lost the apartment. They took all that stuff from him when he got
built that
jammed
back
up.
up.
They took all that stuff. He got 2
done built-
houses.
Bro, this man was just on YouTube 2 weeks ago showing that they
Them
took
same 2 houses, bro. He's showing
this
the same
man
2
showing
houses.
apartments. He said
Okay.
they took my last set of apartments, so we built another one right down the street. I'm watching this, bro.
Okay.
You love to tell me what I'm seeing. These niggas be lying. It be these niggas saying it, not me.
All right.
The man got some money, but what I'm saying is, you got a future. He from Kirkwood. Future work. He just see what he sold the catalog for 10M.
He sold part of it for like 30. He
See what
sold
I'm
part
saying?
of his catalog
Go
for
put a
30.
condo up on Kirkwood.
I don't know what Future doing.
I don't know what he doing, but I'm just saying. The same people, not saying he
Who's
complains.
to say he not doing that?
I'm not saying he not. But what I'm saying is when a Starbucks or Chu Young Fu or Mongolian Grill come up in the neighborhoods we grew up in, we get mad. When we could have did the same thing. We got the money to do it. But we want to go cross town and buy the Ferraris and buy the Bentleys and buy the Lambs and buy the, you see what I'm saying, buy the diamonds. We don't want to buy the property. So what I'm saying is don't complain when these folk come do it. Because it's a business, right?
I'm just saying that a lot of these artists are doing that. I'm gonna give you an example. Jeezy. A lot of people didn't know that Jeezy had a steakhouse in Buckhead. And the reason why he didn't let nobody know because he had a spot once before, and once the folks found out it was his, you had the people coming in there, they want to stand on the couches, they want to, and he learned quickly to keep his name off of stuff because our people gonna come and handle it a different way as opposed to what he's trying to do with his business. He got business partners, you know, in it. But what I'm trying to get you, I'm just that was a steakhouse restaurant back in the day that he had. He had mentioned that the reason why a lot of people don't know that he owned a lot of stuff, a lot of buildings and land and certain things because once they find out he owned it, the wrong crowd come to, so he got to keep his name away from it. There's a lot of artists that do that. Ludacris is one of them. 2 Chainz is another one. You know, but he let the cat out the bag that he owned. What is it? Baby Doll Strip Club, Candyland. So
no,
you know,
I get what you're saying, but listen, what I'm saying, like we don't know the guy that owned the land that the strip mall sit on. Mm-hmm. We don't know him. Ain't nobody got to know what you own. But what I'm saying is, make sure you owning something in your community. Right. Because we got the fun to do it instead of running the Buckhead to do it or running the Marietta.
But also, too, think about this. If you own something in your community, don't nobody know you own it, right? Let's say, for instance, over down there off of Jonesboro Road, you own some stuff on that street, and they having gunshots and all type of stuff, and they and you know burning down because they got all the homeless. At what point do you say that my money? Yeah, I want to invest in my neighborhood, but my neighborhood don't want us here. They don't want nobody here.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, they tearing up everything because they're not vested in it.
So let me ask you this: why ain't they tearing it up when the other people coming by and put the Starbucks and the whoop? Then what's the difference?
Here's the difference.
If you don't know who owns it.
Here's the difference. When the other folks come in, it's an agenda. When those people move in, you start seeing more police patrols. That way they could walk the streets with their dogs and jog. Because you wake up one morning in the hood and be like, damn, who's this white motherfucker running through here?
With a Pomeranian.
Yeah. But you start seeing police patrol. There's an agenda to protect them. But in our communities, they don't care about when it's just us. When they realize it's just us, they gonna let us handle it. You know, they got gunshots over there. They might not even come over there. But when one white family moves into a black community, you'll start to see the police cars driving through the neighborhood. Yeah. You know, you'll start seeing the street lights being put up all the way down the street, you know. But it's an agenda. That's why it's called regentrification. It's a lot of black people that's doing some things with real estate, but they can't let our people know because they gonna come and tear it up. It's just
a perfect example. And where the neighborhood I grew up in, my mom, like when I was in about like the 6th, 7th grade, my mom, my sister, the neighbors across from us, they went down the street petition to try to get some street lights. I didn't want a sign. As soon as some white folks started moving in there,
all that shit, we got everything. Yep. They start trimming back like the shaded the suspect areas where like then code enforcement come out and start going after the landowners. You got to clean this up. You got to clear this up, and it's only because somebody new is moved in. But as long as we in there, we're gonna have all kind of tires and couches and mattresses dumped over here in this area. It ain't even in the back; it's out in the front. They don't care about it.
You know how you were saying like you get more patrol when all that happens. I want to take the time to shout out the South Fulton Police Department, man. That's the best police department in the world, bro. Cause they community relations is like top notch. Okay. These folk got people way from Israel coming on that. They got people way in Kalamazoo
South Fulton.
Yeah, like the police like that. I want to move there, and I be like, them folk really chill. I see them all the time at the Kroger, at the store, Food Depot all the time. Get what they like, what's up, twin?
Twin?
Yeah, the police. You see what I'm saying? Like, and they don't make you feel like, oh, we the police and what you doing.
Right.
Like, them folk real like, hey, man, I got a job to do. You got a job to do.
You know, I really believe the idea of having people from the community police the community, it would be a better situation. You know, for what I do for a living, I'm on the road. And so I see a lot of officers traveling from a far distance. They might be coming north of Atlanta to go police way down on the south of Atlanta. They might be out. I've been out in rural areas and seen Fulton County cars way out in the country. Like folks driving an hour, 2 hours. I actually met a guy that was worked down in Fort Valley, and he lived up in Cartersville. Yeah, and I said, like, how do you make that commute? He's like, nah, I don't. When I got to work certain shifts, I stay down here. You know, I met him up in Cartersville. He actually had the Fort Valley police car. Yeah,
this a cat. I think he live in Carrollton with working fair. I pass him every morning.
Yeah, a lot of those officers, and the reason why they do that is because they don't want to cross paths with people that they police. So they live far away from the areas that they police. Yeah. And so they're out of touch with the community.
Right. If you're doing good policing, I mean, you're supposed to know them folks.
Right.
Even in the community you policing too, like, ain't nothing wrong with throwing the football with the kids and shooting the basketball with the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Give people, like,
I've even seen some box with the kids.
Yeah.
They box with them, you know, but it's it humanizes them. Right. Lets them know, man, because I remember growing up, we used to have Officer Friendly. Used to come to the schools, and you know, you wasn't afraid of the police officer. The fireman, I liked him. He was cool.
You know why? I ain't never met that man in my life. But he shot Matt in a song. I'm 11, 12 years old. He said, I can't believe it. Officer Friendly. He put a slug in Little McKinley. I'm like, dang. Then on About It, the head detective on that movie was Friendly. I'm like, man, nah, we ain't messing with Friendly.
Yeah, that's Officer Friendly used to come to the schools, but we was in grade school in first through sixth grade.
Black dude?
Yeah. We had different officers that come every year.
No, I'm talking about Officer Friendly.
Yeah, it wasn't no one person. It was just like
that just was a title.
Yeah, that was a title.
Oh, I'm thinking it was somebody's mama.
No.
Like, I'm thinking the man last name Friendly.
Police officer come to the school and he sit down here, read with you, and just so you can interact with them, so you won't be afraid of them. They talk to you, tell them, teach you how to be safe for certain things. We used to have the fire people come with the firemen come with the truck, and they'll let you get on the truck. And back then they had the bell on it. You ring the bell, and
I can't remember our Sergeant Yancey, white dude. I think he was a Marine. Cool white dude. We thought it was cool. Like we were in the dare ages. Oh, y'all had dare? Who? Dare to keep. No, because I grew up. You were about grown when the crack hit. I was a
dare to what?
Dare drug awareness.
Nah, we ain't had it. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, we didn't have.
I think
what was this was during Reagan era when his wife had the
Just Say No era.
Yeah. Just Say No.
I was in that. This is your brain on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
But
you ain't paying no attention.
I don't do drugs. I'm paying too much.
Yeah, better attention.
Sergeant Yancey, he was the dare officer. Then by that time, like 7th, 8th grade, the gangbang started to pick up a lot of GD down there. And it was the GREAT program, Gang Resistance Education and Training or some shit like that. That didn't really last long.
We had Officer Friendly that'll come to the elementary schools, and that was it.
What you think? You think Carmelo Anthony stand a chance?
I hate to say it, but nope. He admitted to it. And they didn't get it thrown out. His lawyer didn't get it thrown out in court. that statement, he wasn't read his Miranda rights from what I understand, but when the police got him, he said I did it, or something he said to the man, but
And then if he was a minor, that was supposed to be admissible. But
he
anyway,
was 17, right?
I'm gonna tell you something else. That's how you know he gone.
He gone anyway. He got 12 white jurors.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, of course. In
Yeah,
Texas, he gone.
they had 3 black jurors that they dismissed because they all was teachers, but he got 10 white jurors, and it's supposed to be his peers because they live in his community. But it made the news, national news, So like everybody know about it. He's gonna get convicted. Now, how much time he get? He's probably gonna get life.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, if me and you together, and we jump on somebody and let somebody defend themselves and not die, in our circumstances, they gonna charge you with my murder. Cause they gonna say we ain't had no business trying to jump on that man.
Yeah.
But that ain't gonna work like that for you guys. Ain't gonna work like that for you guys.
Well, what is the YouTuber, the
Judge,
judge?
you chimping out?
Yeah, man.
You chimping out?
So did the black guy die?
No.
So why he got a homicide charge?
I thought he had attempted murder.
Oh, maybe they read the charges wrong. I thought the guy survived too.
I ain't seen nothing.
But the court saying he got homicide. Like the judge read his charges. Yeah, he didn't. I listened to it a couple of times and I was like, I didn't hear that the guy died, but
What he wanted.
oh yeah, he going away
He
too.
through. He
going
through.
away. Yeah.
He ain't the type that they like. Like you were talking about earlier, you got to be the type that they like. I
Well,
don't think he that type.
In the court hearing when the judge was reading his charges, he's like, the man, you had a gun, he had his fist. It's not,
Math ain't math.
yeah.
Why is you that scared of him?
And he said then on that too, he said all around this facility is plastered, no weapons, and you just decide to bring a gun, like you're above the law.
There you go. And that was his aim. He told the police that last encounter, I'm just sick of them acting like they don't have to abide by the law. I'm not doing nothing wrong. It's just freedom of speech.
Well, he challenged people. They got all the clips.
That police said, "We know who you are. We know what you do." And he said, "You can't
Instigate.
No, he said you can't believe people aren't gonna give you what you're looking for."
Right.
And he was like, "It's just respect with being people." And he was like, "You're not in the right here."
Dude punched him and he shot him.
And that last tweet he did right after that incident, he said, because he got slapped that time. He ain't pull the pistol then. And he said, y'all monkeys ain't going to be satisfied until I shoot somebody. And when I do, I'm going to get off scot-free. Then you're going to march.
They read all of that. The judge read all, somebody read all of that in court. I don't want to say it's the judge. But when the judge was telling them what he was charged with and how many years he could get sentenced, he wasn't smiling then. Oh no. Oh yeah, it's over with. Yeah. He probably get it in county before he even get to the prison, but they probably got him in protective custody.
He gonna have Kool-Aid on his lip if he survives.
Oh yeah.
He gonna hit Trump gonna be full of Kool-Aid.
He gonna have to join the Aryans.
They gonna put Kool-Aid on him.
Maybe.
Oh man, heartbreaking, sickening. I just seen this today. In Bibb County, Alabama, they found a storm shelter, like underground bunker, and they were housing 10 kids, and they was running. Basically, the news reporter said they was running an underage whorehouse. You know who it was.
Oh, one of us?
No,
Who was it?
it was them. And the crazy
I
part
didn't hear about it.
the crazy part was 6 out of 10 of them kids belonged to one of the 6 suspects. You know, some of the 6 suspects that was charged with it. And I'm talking about several counts of child molestation, several counts of rape.
Well, that's what they do.
There you go.
We discussed this a week before. That's why the pedophiles that run our government do what they do.
And we were talking about, we was in the comment, you know, we be looking for an opportunity to make them look
because it's to the point where now it's like you can't defend the indefensible. Like it's some stuff you just can't defend. There's no way you got all these thousands of pages of documents and you're telling people we're redacting names, but you're leaving out the names of the victims. You showing their names, so whose names are you redacting? And not one person is being arrested. But you blowing up boats in the Caribbean, you locking up these people on fraud, you doing all this stuff, but you can't lock up not one person. Not one person. Or you refuse to, and that's the part right there. Like they'll tell you there's no credible evidence. So why you got 30,000 pages of what? You got all these million pages of what? Who these, these other countries are locking people up, Prince Andrew, all these, so, and they were in the Epstein files. Why y'all ain't even went got him?
His offense might have occurred offshore. His offense might have occurred offshore. I get what you're saying.
But he was in New York at Epstein house.
He might not did nothing that time.
But they got pictures of him standing over the girl unconscious.
You seen the picture?
Yeah.
Man, how you get access to the picture?
It's on the news, bro. They got all this stuff come out the files. The
ain't
lady
showing
is
nobody.
laying down. He looking up. Somebody standing over him taking a picture, just like caught him. Yeah. They got Bill Clinton in the hot tub with the girls.
No, he in there. I mean, Bill got some head in a press conference. Don't put nothing past Bill.
Donald Trump grabbing him by the pussy.
Ain't nobody see that though.
He said it.
I mean, I could say I kissed Janet Jackson. That don't mean I did it. And I ain't taking up for him. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like,
it sound like you are.
Bill a different animal.
It sound like you are to me.
I mean,
That sound like you are to me. This man said it on a Hollywood. What was that Hollywood unlocked tape? Yeah, like he was bragging about what he do. This is before he got elected the first time.
I heard the tape. I know exactly what you're talking about. But what I'm
The
saying,
president is a pedophile.
I agree. I ain't gonna not say that. Speaking of that, I cannot remember this man. We were talking about it last week with the UFOs and things. When I was telling you, buddy, keep saying they man-made and re-engineered them. He said that's how a lot of the missing people, missing child cases, because they faking abduction type things and getting them out of here.
They doing what now?
You know how people be saying they got abducted? But it was like, that's not extraterrestrial. That's the man-made stuff
Oh, really?
that help carry out the trafficking movement.
Well, you see this week, a couple of days ago, this brother in the truck saved this black girl. She was running down the street, running down the highway, handcuffed behind her back, and the white guy had posed as a police officer and trying to kidnap her, and she escaped from him. Like, you got to be careful out here, man.
There was a video going around too. This lady was at a resort somewhere. White man followed her down the hall, ran behind, tried to grab her up, but she, and then she went screaming. And people coming out their room.
They got some sick weirdos out here, bro. It's no other way to put it. It's some sick people out here mentally that do some sick stuff, like the administrator at Roswell High School sleeping with the students. Like they haven't got don't understand like you're gonna get away with this. Like
that's coming out a lot different places, especially in Georgia. A lot of these teachers.
But this was a female teacher. Lately it's been, it was a lot of men. She was the first female that I think that get popped in Georgia lately that I've seen.
Boy, we had females and male teachers in my high school.
I wasn't trying to do nothing with no teachers in my high school.
And May, this your teacher. In July, we see y'all at the movies kissing. We graduated now, though. Like, y'all hit that well.
Nah, we ain't.
That wasn't us.
Not when I went to school.
It wasn't none of us. It was them.
And these teachers they got out here now, it wasn't nothing like they was back then.
It might be a segment we need to kick out. It wasn't us. It was them. Oh man, boy, you crazy, man.
It's life, bro. Sure.
Positive.
All right.
Understand me?
What you paying about 2,000 for a flight?
Boy, you crazy. Locked in. I feel like they're locked in like 3 months.
So you got it before the fuel and all that went up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go out there, put my toes in the sand, man. Do some yoga on the beach, you know. Handstands and crab walking and all that old type of stuff.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Have you a good time over there, brother?
Swell time.
Go over there and go zip lining or something.
No, sir. Last time I went down there, I ain't gonna lie. I hit somebody's car.
You hit the car
Hit their car, bro.
driving.
What? We went to the me and my girlfriend, we went to the rental car place. I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, none of the professors I asked for, you go, but this all they had. But no, I was supposed to just get a car. Only thing we got is pickup trucks. And I'm like, man, I'm not finna be riding around here in no F-150.
So you know how to drive?
I do know how to drive. Them folk came right in that Gladiator, though. You know what I'm saying?
Gladiator.
The Jeep.
The Jeep.
Yes, sir. We in the parking garage. It's probably about as big as this table. I'm in reverse. I'm just easing the ease.
Should have took that pickup truck.
My God, bro. No, that's the truck they were talking about.
Mm.
My God, you know, that's what the flatbed. My God, bro, I said, what you gonna do? Shit, bro, I'm finna go. I ain't from here.
Ain't no sense to start
I don't know
nothing
these
here.
folks.
Yeah, you don't even know how they gonna respond.
But nah, I really just kind of the tie. You know, the tie.
Just
that's
tapped it.
Yeah, the tie. You can pop a little bit.
Maybe you shouldn't have said it
That's a little scoop.
on air because somebody might be listening.
That been about 5 years ago. Statute of limitation up.
Oh no, it's Puerto Rico.
That's USA.
That don't mean nothing. They don't. Nobody recognizes them.
Yeah, you're not your president.
There you go.
He ain't even know who the president of Puerto Rico was.
You stupid.
Man.
Well, you enjoy yourself, brother.
Yeah, you know, we're gonna make sure we do all that type stuff. You got any final words for the people?
Man, with this being the it's not an anniversary to me, but the 5-year remembrance of my son passing away due to gun violence, man. All I can say to our young people and just people, period, put the guns down, man. Put the guns down. Take an ass whipping. Come back and fight tomorrow. You know, but you got to put the guns down, man.
I'm gonna let you get that out. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
All right. R.I.P. Nep. But he capped too. You won't tussle.
No,
Why?
ain't got no win, but
What you gonna do?
shoot the shit out.
Didn't he just say put the guns down?
I ain't. I'm just saying, like,
Oh my Lord, this is why I came with this guy.
I'm gonna do everything I can to avoid.
Avoid it, yeah, for real though.
But if I got to, you know,
Yeah, I did said I'm sorry. My bad, you got it. Step on somebody's shoes for hey, my bad, brother.
oh yeah.
Nice.
I'll get down there and try to
No,
clean
we
or
ain't
whatever.
doing that.
Hey, I'm
We
gonna try
ain't
to do
doing
whatever
that.
I got to do to diffuse the situation. Just don't put your hands on me.
Take this, I'm sorry. I'm not finna get down on your shoes. Who you think they is? Show enough? Next thing you know, you gonna kiss my Converse.
Hey man, I watched OG Bobby Johnson shine my shoes in prison, man.
I ain't see that scene.
Yeah, when he was sitting there with the Muslim dude. And
Oh yeah, when they broke him down. Yup.
Yeah. And he walked
It was either
up,
that or
brought the
Buddha.
shoes, and he was like,
What he say? He a man, Buddha. Buddha said, I know he's a man. Hey, that's one of my favorite movies, man. OG Bobby Johnson.
OG Bobby Johnson.
Yeah,
He's
man.
a Hoover Deuce.
Deuce. All right, man. Like bro said, man, y'all put them guns down. Put your gloves up, guns down, man. We need to do a boxing tournament. See somebody get knocked out. Cause you just gotta learn how to take it on the chin sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes you can just talk it out, man.
A lot of times you can
Talk it out. It really ain't.
If ain't nobody been done got shot, no kill, no nothing, man, it ain't worth it. You got people that done lost lives, different sides, supposed to be, oh, I hate you. Woo, woo, woo. They sit in the same room together. You ain't gotta like the person. You ain't gotta kill them either. That's all I'm saying.
Ain't no coming back from that.
No, it ain't, cause he going to the graveyard, you going to the chain gang. And the chain gang ain't no shooting. You gotta know how to fight, push that knife, all that time. I just be rapping, I don't even wanna rap. But yeah, that's it, man. Shout out to everybody, all my loved ones. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure y'all stay tuned in, man. If you got a business, restaurant, you know what I'm saying, law firm, barbershop, cleaning service, record label, studio, car wash, you understand me? All that.
Any kind of black business.
Any kind of black. It ain't got to necessarily be black business, but we support everybody, but we welcome our people for sure. Come and talk to us, man. Get in contact with us or drop your emails in the chat so we can get in contact with y'all. We are accepting sponsors. We're looking for sponsors. Let's help each other grow.
Yes, sir.
On that note,